Hey everybody, it's Zach and I like movies. And as part of the Letterboxd Criterion Challenge of the year, I'm talking about the directorial debut from Danny Boyle, 1994's Shallow Grave. So, this is a pretty classic premise. Three friends, dead body, pile of money. What do? Well, they dispose of the body, they cut up the body, and dispose of anybody who comes after them. And they try to keep their best friends close by to them. Because if you can't trust your friends, what then? So yeah, you got three flatmates. Juliet, a doctor, who's played by Kerry Fox. Alex, a journalist, played by Ewan McGregor. And David, and an accountant, David, played by Christopher Eccleston. Now, they're just kind of your normal, everyday, 20-something upstarts. But they're also they're all assholes, to be honest. Like, the opening scene has this great montage of them, like, just having a series of very unserious interviews of a potential fourth flatmate, and they take no one outside of their trio seriously. they even bully one particular guy throughout the whole movie. They're huge dicks to him. And like right away through this montage, you see not just the tone this movie is going for, but the relationship dynamics of this little menage. Like Alex shoots off in the mouth a lot. He's very much just kind of like, whatever first, he has no filter. David is, he's an accountant. He's a little more reserved and postured and like thinks of himself as like more civilized, but even he, can't help himself. And while I appreciate that, you kind of think that Juliet will be the more even ground between the two extremes. And like, I don't know, even motherly between the two, but no. She dashes that idea right out the gate. Hey, and while they all go about their days in different ways, they're all selfish and they all suck in the same way. You really see why they're friends. And I gotta say, and really, the performances here are great. They are what carry this movie through. Christopher Eccleston is probably the most transformative performance across the movie. Like, where he's the one most affected by the moral decay of their situation, and his descent is very well realized. It's very well performed, and man, Ewan McGregor, right out the gate, already feels like a star, ready to break out into a star. Or he's got charisma for days. He's got this luscious head of hair. And you can't take your eyes off of him, and he won't let you take your eyes off of him. And as big as both Eccleston and McGregor have gotten in their later careers, don't think that Kerry Fox is slouching. She's kind of an underrated performer in here, I think. But yeah, it's these three. They're just kind of going about their day, and then they bring in a fourth flatmate, an aloof dude named Hugo. And then Hugo winds up dead almost immediately of an overdose. And he has a suitcase full of money. So they decide to get rid of his body, cut him up, and every so often this movie has like there's like hints of like the impending danger. It's like some guys might be after them. Maybe the police are also after them. And this whole thing is this movie is really something that Alfred Hitchcock would have loved. It's it's a darkly funny crime story about friendship, with shifting loyalties, paranoia, obsession, betrayal. And also there's an undercurrent of sexual tension between the trio. Like David clearly has some unspoken affection for Juliet, but then there's also a scene where like Alex and Juliet are dancing, and then he like falls on the floor, and then she like puts her foot in his mouth, and he like kisses her ankle, and they're both giving each other the fuck eyes, and there's definitely nothing there. Not saying all of their problems would have been solved with a threesome, but hey, who knows? Who knows if that could have helped? It could have helped. Maybe it couldn't have. Who knows? But honestly, these three, the three performances are probably like the best aspect of it. But that being said, this is a very, very well assured debut from Danny Boyle. And like the camera work is very clean. It's as minimalist as the like setting and locations are. It's very there's still like this sense of like the way it's edited and cut out. There's definitely a sense of like the world outside of them. And he really but Boyle really knows how to focus on something, when to focus on it to keep the pace up, keep the audience engaged. And if you're familiar with Danny Boyle's movies, whether it's Trainspotting, 127 Hours, even Steve Jobs, you can already see a lot of the building blocks that he would build off of into his later movies like the MTV era style of editing that he had, the ironic pop music choices, or like the weird dark tonal shifts that the movie would take, and even complete genre shifts that it would go through. Hell, there's even creepy imagery involving a baby at one point. And I also really appreciated the use of color in this too. A lot of the apartment set, which is a really, really well, this is one of the best apartments in a movie I've ever seen. Like, immediately I'm just like, you guys are doing pretty good for an apartment this size with just the three of you. Like, that would cost like $1 million nowadays in New York. Like, you're in the middle of the city and you have an apartment that looks this good and it's this big. It's like twice the size of mine. Anyway, so a lot of the apartment set is done in this like sort of mundane blues, and it really helps make the other colors pop out, whether it's like a cherry red phone, a bright yellow plastic wrap, and even the greens out in the forest really pop, especially on the Criterion release right here. And yeah, and I would, as far as like criticisms go, it's not really deep. It's not really it is kind of like when you see the story really set in motion, you kind of already know what to expect, and it does throw you for some surprises. I won't give them away, but there is sort of this there's not a whole lot of like loops it goes through. It doesn't like get as deep as it could have been, and like I think the transformation of David is a bit sudden, because initially you don't really see how you aren't really given the impression that a character like David could have gotten that dark that quickly. But this movie is a tight 89 minutes, and even the credits are really quick. And as far as I can admire Danny Boyle and his crew for coming in with such a tight budget, the characters kind of are left thin. They don't really like. There's not growth, and I do like that. I do like that. On the other hand, I do like it. It's good that it's just about the greed, and even though they are doing okay, they just kind of want more, because again, they are pretty they're kind of despicable characters, and it does kind of like. It does kind of leave you wanting, oh man, you just kind of want like one of them to get their comeuppance somehow, But yeah, it's a pretty good movie. I don't know if I would call it any one of Boyle's better works. I think he's definitely improved. Even immediately after that was Trainspotting. That's one of the best movies I've ever seen. And it's pretty solid stuff. Solid stuff. If you're looking to rent. If you're looking to stream this, it's available to rent or buy on Amazon Prime and Apple TV, although you can see it for free on YouTube right now in pretty good quality too. Like it's not like a blurry DVD cut. No, you can it's a pretty clean looking cut. And if you're looking to own it physically, the Criterion release here is pretty good too. I would highly recommend getting this. And yeah, it's really funny. Yeah, it's funny. It's quick. It has a mean streak to it, and it's fun. And it's a real fun. It's a real fun romp. I feeling like a strong 7 out of this. It's really good. It's really good. So yeah, I would highly recommend that. So that's the review. Please like and subscribe. Please share the video. And have you seen Shallow Grave? What did you think of Shallow Grave? What's your favorite Danny Boyle movie? So yeah, that's the The first of 52 for this little challenge I'm doing for the channel. So yeah, I'll be watching more movies, and I hope you do too. Take care.